Premtobre Simama Yamamuna ha Yamakwa do Badum TV Premtobre Kasee so ewie nsɛm braso so tibie nsɛm etodwa wo mu bi ya obetini Ghana yana musini ya wo US memu se wadi hwamopa wo kane ye mfotoseni ken oforiata ho se wo mu ye se ya kyere no wo ba ho nsra no wa ma wo no mo ekwane Yetwaso akoye nsɛm foforo mu na MPP amanyoko no se wo mu gunhyehyɛ so na wayi Professor Kwabena Premtobre efri amanyoko no emu Supreme Court nso pandai abatom pesua no eso se yekoto ababie mu no wonwatu asɛm no ahyɛda foforo sansɛm wei yɛde agudie bɛka ho ne akɔ bi man so enigide yɛde abro se Premtobre Kasee wo hwɛ live or Facebook/Adom TV Extra Go TV at 119 DSTV at 280 Oko YouTube at Adom TV 2 na AdomOnline.com Semini sema fufuro bi oho media fia amankwa tamaklo Eda se afia ni debiente sede semni nchemu ankasa etie Ghana ya na musini ya wo US memu na kase ekyerese Federal Bureau of Investigation Chia one more ache kane yam fotoseni ken oforiata ne de enye immigration nsɛm nko a ebroso ebunsɛm eni
I mean, since this incident, have you had any further information about the conditions of his detention?
Yes, the ICE people confirmed that he was all right. Initially, they had medical people to determine whether he was fit to be held in a detention center, and they were convinced and were sure that he was okay. He was on medication, but he wasn't seeing any doctor at the time. And he had his medication, so he could be put in the detention.
Yet also Yeguso Ewa Ambassador Victor Smith, ya woyerem sini wo US memu nsama woka de efa kane fotosendi ken oforiata eho no wo kyerɛ mu sɛ wo mo adi yaw pa wo pani no ho bra wo munya nanteye sɛ ya kyerɛ no no wo kɔ no ho nsa wa ma wo nkwan wo de wo ho ayaw emu nsɛm eni
Were you also briefed about the revocation of his valid visa?
No, the Attorney General mentioned that to me. The extent of my involvement at this stage was when he had been picked up. I discussed it with the consular officers of my embassy, and we decided to make a request to make sure that he was being treated properly as the protocols, international protocols. And so we requested, and they agreed in principle to allow us to come and visit. But just before we set out, the ICE people came again and said the detainee had refused to meet with us without his lawyers. That was the initial response from the detention center. And they were going to go back to him and probably request that his lawyers appear so we can come and verify for ourselves that he's being treated fairly and not being denied, for instance, his medication and all that. But we waited for a while. After about a few hours, they came back to us to say the detainee, being the ex-minister, had refused now to see us under any circumstance. So that was the end of the road for me and the embassy.
Jemfri sansem ni mo na yon konsem foforo mo na ne wo bedwam dwumadie ayem pensim mu so no Director of Communications ma Dr. Baumia campaign team no yana na akomia no de to dwade ebi mo ka say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia 2024 one mo no homoden kura no kura bi enimu onye ni a odi kan a wakọ esi anim adi ntwo ebisi kan mampani John Ejekonkofo breso na na do ebi to no nanso ewi akire won be ye nkunimdifo ense won de to dwa eni
na we kura hwe President Kufo Baumia elections here 2024 yenya 41.7
yeah
say wanyade sana nipa ni bika but President Kufo 1996 onya 39
general elections
Yes, when you're 39%. Now, so free 39, no. Yeah, next election, 2000, general election.
Yeah.
Okoya Amonya bear 54, 55 for runoff, no. From 39. In terms of 41.7, there were Nim Krachen, na President Kufuor.
The first attempt.
1996. Now, young President Kufuor. No, 2008.
Okay.
So, you have 49 points, baby.
Yeah, that's the first round.
First round. Debe no 2012. Say so here. That's what here. 2012. On a Mahama Koy. Vote no bar from. But party for an can say. Yado Koy no vote na tia banti. Say. I'm sure the modern boy who did the share campaign 2012. Then to them some sound in the bar 2016. Enti modern boy will be bo and who did the share campaign no. And a Bema party for I can say we yard and I want yard. Tian found brand and me and found ember. Now if you change shemu and any pani bemoka so I'm bomb there. Not just almost the account say Baumiantina, a candidate problem.
Okay.
A candidate in the pan Frankentunin or non tina you didn't go. And you know, Gina so be any so.
Nana Komiama no so one watch mo sese MPP amanyokuno de Frank Anoma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na Ghana nso nyina de ma no se mampanin so a obehwe na na memu mu no ne ma hodo bi obeye no sei eno de tudwa
bako ade ba Consular abamia de ba secretary party we dun so ensi da constituency bia benya at least 10 appointments
in his government.
In his government. Sure, maybe constituency require one crime in the middle of Accra.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe your appointment kakra.
Oh, okay.
And I mean you are back MP no friend no dakwan limo no so your appointment.
Okay.
Into share more constituency so kan kwe south.
Okay.
Nipa mienu pe na party no e wo appointment.
To every constituency be a 10 appointments.
10 appointments.
That will be 2,760 appointments.
President of Ghana no.
Okay.
Sana constitution Kenya Ghana constitution rapport the man or be 6,000 appointments.
Okay.
The president of Ghana. Enti or say Sana president na nene bia ne nkrofo na pamfo kakra bi ti bebi no mo ya appointments no. There be maybe half Bema constituencies. The constituencies will be the nipa 10 party for our mufata. Appointments.
Okay, so with this one,
in Shishaya, a beboa into no we a party ni now open opinion beer. War constituency or 1 penny for best 10.
Okay.
Until not 7 or the 2 delegates name no crown.
Okay.
Answer to the delegates no more how.
Okay.
And history no so on the side. So because of time biano obi at the neighbor repeating. And see Warashemu say now say this time in the year 5. 2021 year 10. That doesn't vote no.
And I'm also next man.
Yes, say 5. And the percentage no benyano crab bro. Say last time so 62%.
Yes, 62%.
This time na nipa ni so no benya between 65 and 70%.
Nania no nkosi acting central regional chairman dema MPP Michael Mensah dodo nanim no sojan so se delegate nkwa bonten e dadudu ho ma onkoto aba no bum ma ohene Kennedy ohene e Japan na oba wa ma adwuma aba emebunu fam
Michael Mensah na akopi mu mfimfim mantem a woye dwemtreni a wohwe kire diama MPP amanyuku no de ato amanyuku ni ma aya wo ho ne se wonum emomodin so beto aba no e diama owura Kennedy ohene Japan MPP amanyuku na ba wonum beto no January bosom de to so aduasa ba akono na kire se obi a odi sika bebre wo mu se wo mu nkoto aba no wo mu nyi sika ni firi se somo mo aso amanyuku no e ho mfa so bia na so aba no de wonum entonko pa odin sami tudwa wabra owura Kennedy ohene Japan ne yere ebepi mu wo mantem ni mu a wo bontoa e de ata ni kuna.
So penso mo ba wo de ye fun sika na mo de baba na wo so s grass age wo wi akoto abama wo da ache obi antimi nyi obi afira album nobody because album na ga say that MPP album no sisi aye betrem wo police station from 5 to 7 Yen Adom. And more being got in a contract. Near Shen, the bossy, a man position being to know. Obey around there. So one to uncle baby or no Benya and near Dino. Obey you for being to me, you'll be a free album. And in any case, so we went to me, no over to me, and you wait for album. That's a one out to me, but I don't know myself.
Eno echi no ura ire Christiana e Japan ya oye ura kene Japan ire nso ejine mu a ode nsem sei etudwa
papa o say Ghana first constituency bia yo Obama factory abaho say de be ya eno waya yebia ye be boa no akoto bi e wa amanone na sika aba mine na sika bia ba yibotu eno ti na mento number 1 January 31st senior yebetu aba baby a yebetu akọ eno na beche senior yeda action ebeye apanyifo ne say omo kan na say president for abemaya free for the school fee by my abiane free president Kufuado etwa so ehwe ye secondary school free akwara school aka edwuma Honorable Ken said, "Get to a banana from my man of the
Egusoye wan pipi amanyoko no wonsemo na amanyoko no se womugu nhihye so hwe se obeyi Professor Kwabena from Botched efri amanyoko no mu nyina no ye interview bi a wakwakoye a wo se party no fake
MPP Mayoko no echiremu a wonom ye nhye ya kane soafo no hwe obaade abobrem abode nyansape ene abefo kwanso dwumedi ho nsem so Professor Kwabena from Botched ombepam ne fra Mayoko nim e won nsem bi a okeka afa wo ho a mochira emfa na kwanso kra na enrada ena Professor from Botched kwetena channel 1 TV so a one Benadavle ekwetwe nkomo ena wode atodwa se MPP Mayoko no sede TCC no kese wonum ne aniwonyam kra enye amanyoko papa enti wono de onka ho kra na we MPP akane na wenim na eba no saa ena MPP Mayoko no de abetudwa se enya ade a saa nsemu yi wo mugitum kra yano nti enimwanimu ya wonum ehwe na wonum eyi no afra Mayoko nim na afi bebe opese okobona sesen no akwa ho na okire se afimpi mienu ne aduonu miensa mampani aba a mukoto ye no MPP Mayoko no mpanimfo echinchim wonum a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no mugina yensa ena wagifiri wonum nsam de ma no franketufo no eno ena MPP fo no de kwa abatu mu a wonum ede kukudi nkuguo Amanyoko ne kira enya no kure de biara da umfa amra kwan so ena to aba no a eno nti Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia edi nkunim kwan paso eno nti sansam no a owura nde betudwa no wagitumu a enyeyi
Adom TV Premtobre Kasee na ugiso ehwe no yeto so free amanyosemu akbora enso foforo mu di atama regional police command no woromo achre eniemme bia ya bono ntoantoa 1613 yesu se eyenuboni no ebia emunsem Kasee no edeba
Tama Regional Police Command ene 1613 passos bia wono susu se eno eye enubone wono achire ewo eno operation mi a wono hwehwe so ewo akoso motama kwan no eso sa ene edwumedi a wono ede ahwehwe so ma wono atumi achire passos nyina eye enema hodo a wono de agu akwamu ehwe se ene enubone omamfo ede efrime ya hodo ekọ eme ya hodo no wono ebisi ano ekwan sa operation sia wono hwehwe so no eyade se wono nyanantie opepombo somene de toso edu wobosumi yemu se enipaku be yona dwene se enuboni wono dibi ebe free from wantem no mu di wonani achire mu ewotema eno nantempa ema aposifo nso ede wono mu media wodo hwehye so ewosa ekwan no so a na wonani esi agomeda junction empotemu honomo na winna opepombo somene de toso edu ba ko abra na anopa sima aduanan enum abapa dumienu eho ena wono mu ehunu se ahye mienu abako yi white Toyota Highlander registration number AGS 2013-13 and a black Mitsubishi Pajero and registration number AGC 400-22 eba be hwa wono ejina ahyenyi omamfa na wono twa ahyenyi din ene Isaac Odoi wodi mfinsha no aduasa mensa ena afi Kwame Mane wodi mfinsha no aduasa enkono ena msoma wono ehwehwe ahyenyi emu a wono ehunu se eni paso sayede enema afa ho ehyehye mu awe na wono susu se eyesa enuboni entempa wono echire araba fo mienu ya wɔn mo ahyɛn so wɔn mo de kɔpie mu ɛwɔ police station wei na ɔpepɔmbo som de to so edumienu exhibit ɛna afei suspect yi de wɔn mo nyinaa kɔpie mu ɛwɔ regional CID no ɛwɔ tema ɛhɔ no wɔn mo mfonini yɛ fa yɛ sanso so ɛna nneɛma ahodoɔ bi betumi aboa man hwehwɛmu no akɔsonso wɔn mo enyaayɛ ɛwɔ ne nyinaa mu no 872 parcels deɛ wɔn mo ehu no wɔ Mitsubishi Pajero yi emu sanso ɛna 741 parcels nso na ɛwɔ Toyota Highlander no emu emprempren yi adɔbafo mmienu ɛwɔ aposifoɔ akachia wɔn mo bɔ man hwehwɛmu akɔso sanso ɛna parcels yi esu sɛ enubɔne ne wɔn nso wɔn mo de akɔkɔpie mu wɔ forensic crime laboratory sɛ wɔn mo enye hwehwɛmu no wɔn mo hwɛ sɛ anokwa ɛyɛ enubɔne yi ebia ɛnyɛ no nko a wɔn mo bɛsan akɔ adɔbafo yi nso efie no wɔn mo akɔhwehwɛ wahwɛ sɛ enema anase enubɔne bi nso ɛsan ɛwɔ hɔ no mo a
yɛnkɔ kɔɔte Supreme Court and I say Pandaya Baton Pesiano petition obi de abanti I was here sakoto abani bi mu no won to ahye General Bosome no e de to so do no enwotwe ma yenkɔ ahoma no so amane boni kodwomensa brampa yekozu na ye no e di nkomo ke me oti yenka ye mo akɔ abado ba Adom TV Premtobre Kasee so
ye wo de zistefia
obetime de yafem na de kɔ so e wɔ court
It's a very day, is in Kanakano. 24th December, Anna Tamale High Court share there. Say, actually, about to occur 2024, Panda, no, Samano, which NDC parliamentary candidate Daniel Wapari, the Kodan Court there. One share non can be man in tea, in Kawanto, Aban Fofo. Until December 24th, last year, 2025, now, court in share there, and Kawanto Aban Fofo. On Amdo, Ama, Martin Yandama, or MPP, ni MPR. Ono na onye adame about to no fa so ze to god oze asam no bada Supreme Court mo Supreme Court ze o share to issue do there say hwe about to hu hyehyɛ ɔreyɛ na nka rerun na High Court here there Tamale High Court here there won court no on court na on twentwendo na won hwɛ no wonzi asam no ankasa ntinde na wafra asam no ankasa Matinyandam no lawyer Gary no mako o share say ze to god say hwe okwana High Court Tamale High Court fa do Ozizi dama asam na onyaza na oye kwampado osande say 21 days election petition wo fa den nche wan fado na wetum ezi asam na dami 21 days no anso na woze dami petition no woze kwanti onyaza o ma court no asam a okan ni nyina no osimu nti ototo as record there judgment na Tamale High Court ozibe no won bo dami judgment ni nyina no won bo mfam ntungu ono namdo o ma wura akpala ni lawyer ofra no sika abla ado so ze tu gwade se hwe okwana High Court no fa do hyehyɛ nsɛm no a okɔle for rerun na oyaza ohonze wo hyehyɛ nzɛm nyinaa wiezi ye azi bi oda woyɛ ɔno nti na High Court hwɛ nsɛm a hon waza akɔno do no ozi asɛm no ma hon nti wɔtoto srɛ Supreme Court dem asɛm na High Court kan den ka wonyɛ na wonyɛ rerun Supreme Court mani ngina hɔ na wɔmma kwan na rerun no mbra Sasha and the Supreme Court nipa beenu a wotena ase there ajajefo na owura Justice Gabriel Parman na no ye presiding na oda hona no wo yina wetie afanu yinara won krogbo no no wase tu gwa there yami Adom 28 January I am kire Wednesday 28 January no wo yina obetena ase na asem na wetie afanu ni yina no mmuai bi a obaba no wetum oza atugwa ono na wo be kire there abato no obato no fofo anade Owura Matinyandam oda ho ye na hye begwanyima omanfa wowo pandai na nde se hwe Supreme Court ho a obi bese osewenyi no nsa oka kire MPP na NDC mpemfu ni nara yaza woba papa se hwe MPP ona fa one General Secretary Justin Kodia report by the manso ana one national organizer na nabi na oka ho bi the manso ana one parliamentary leaders no we na mpemfu nara bibina na woba ya na asahin Alexander Fenyomakin no di when any money MPC no be waka ho a wabai na party supporters a mbenimu fi pandai damaso na mbenimu fi nkranha wo nyina wabai a obehwe esa okodo e Supreme Court na NDC fo wana afa no so ze hwe one deputy director of election a stafo computer tanku ono so na ozi when any mo onyewan bai damaso na party ni mu mpemfu binum a waka ho onso waka no ho a wabai na hwe mrahye muso a one deputy one majority ship whip Owura Nelson Dafia Mepo the manso na deputy agric minister John Dimelu na MPs binom a waka ho na party mpenufo no bi na supporters no bi a waka ho we na was when kyerɛ Supreme Court ha and wɔbɛhwɛ as akɔdo nti yɛrehwɛ yim dɛ yame adoma 28 January no the Supreme Court mpenfo wa assembly no a weti afo no nyinaa no wɔse ano yi bɛba ne yɛhu dɛ abato no wɔbɔto fofo ana dɛ wura matenyendam wɔkɔda na wayɛ mahyɛ bagwanyi ama ɔmanfa wɔwɔ panda sistefia
na wankasa wohwɛ a 28 January no yɛde ruling ne bɛba
sistefia dama wezin kan obiara kana asɛm awi a wetie afanu nyinara obiara se nsɛm a ohia a ɔdɛ agyagefo no wahwom na wetum wɔse rule na aba no wɔza ma ho na agyagefo no so waka weti na afamo a wahyɛ dɛ 28 wɔrehwɛ na wɔse rule na aba ne te ɔho no pɛ na wɔbetum akyerɛ dɛ 28 no rule no ababa anadɛ ɔmba nti dɛmra wɔnya waka ne dza bibia nya nsi ne ze ɛwɔ anyi sum dɛ when 28 yɛba rule na waka ne ze wɔde batugwa ne yɛhu bebia eti na nani na obakwa akwoto
enti enipa mienu no ora Matthew nyindam obai ndc ni no so bai
enti se hwe nipa baasa won ho bɔ no wasam ni mu ina ora Matthew nyindam ono ankasa oba court dama so na electoral commission ono so no ho wasam ni mu enti electoral commission so oba court na nipa obegina electoral commission na name wa fra no Fred Tete also a deputy director of research electoral commission the man so na NDC parliamentary candidate 2024 Daniel Wakpari ono so oyaza obai ntimpa ba san won gbo nsam ni mu nyina no obi ara yaza oba nde Supreme Court wo betiza okodo
yada say kojomensa brampa ya mani boni e na court Supreme Court pandai rerun no nyame ya doma 28 January ombesaba na yehu bebia ebekwa akosie Premtobre Kasee na oguso hwa Adom TV no media fia amankwa tamaklo ye toso de ankwanhia bia si wo owura twum I know wepoye mantemu ye chebi suhum kwantempon no so ma make say ye say aginipa ba kokra frim ama miensa onso epra
nkwanhia kɛseɛ bi asi owura twum ya no chebi ene sohum kwantempɔn so a ifa ba ko afama to na nanom wansia do amu miensa so aprepra na onom kyerɛ akwanhia yi esi na no dwoada ya Ghana National Fire Service for Edimrika Tente akopi mu hɔ no mu a enyasam ketewa na ewraba ba ko a no ono ete car ne number AGT 8521N ya eye Opel Vectra yibi ena wono wato na nanom wansia do a kyerɛ sɛ ehyan ne tai epae ena emuni fa so be semprensa sana ekwa akoto wura bi mu hɔ no mu a akoya rahusem ye pa na nipa baako ewu mamiense pra wo nyinaa ya ma ya bema baako eni tue mu na kopiem ewo suhum empatamu a pani ono ne da dumja dwumaku ano wo ho ADO2 akono opare ohene Daniel edensem wei etonzamtwafo anim
ke nya anopa no ye nya nti yese accident ye ne bi asi ewo chibi kwan so nti ye mante no bomoden edru honom ekohwe se na situation etie ampa ekodu ona accident involve one taxi vehicle na casualties no yetimi ayibi na nyame age bakokra ifini nsem ono na wa traffic nti ema ye member no ebomodin de all the education tools ni na ebomodin edigu akwemu ediji no by and ye share na we film so we handed the body to the police service omo chebi and omo dey body no here echo mortuary but other casualties and we also taken to the Chebi government hospital for treatment.
What happened when you see the
one or two interviews I hear on around instance one of them say the driver was on a trip from Chebi to Suhum. So upon reaching the place of incidents, and obviously one of the rear side, and then now so many summer salty equator the other side of the road and then the roof ever for man and the ties made etc. So ni we film ni de ni age de mintimi entre for now but oyoba mami penimu kakra we ni afi bo be 50 plus eco 60 de bitima de edi
yenko kumase na yenko hwa droba fo nso na ne won mu so no traffic light no fa no anya adwuma ewo ehonti ama ebia we free ha behia ayo hawo ayehu edi ama won
asante mantem yanoma biaye baako a adane owuo atwede eye poku transport junction ewo ofori krom medicine mu na ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ traffic light a asɛe bɛɛ sɛ mfinhyia mmiɛnsa anie nanso mpanyinfoɔ nhwɛeɛ nsiesie aka ho bi ama akwanhyia a asi hanom deɛ kyɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa.
How do you bebree aba accident ɛnna na ebi yɛ moto ɛbom kaa nkasa so bom ebi ewu wɔ ano bebree ama yɛaka ho asɛm aka policefoɔ no ba ɔmo sɛ yɛbisa sɛ nkɔmɔ nyɛ bɔmpin bi kora wɔ hanom ɛma ɛsɛ nka cars no duro bɛyɛ ɔmo sɛ ɔmo yɛ a ɛnkwa na nipa no bɛwu kɛse sɛ ɛbɛ no bɛbom a ɛbɛtumi ato no akɔ ɛna ɛda ho tim a na mengye ni sɛ traffic no bɛbiem asɛ bɛyɛ 3 years ni
ɛno akora ayi no pickup ayi no rino ni bi no double azo ni bi no ɔne we di plug ni bi crash wa nyime no but ɛyɛ anya ni mu ni mu akyire na plug no is stroke say na pickup no count plug no mum na ɛbɔ woni kakra na ka pickup na ɛbɔ plug bi aka asɛmbɔ ni bi si
yɛ tina yɛ ma usuro
sakas no serious stane no temeto hɔ no ma nyame ɛna bɔ nipa ho ban meto hɔ nso a mehwɛ ni sei aha na mo de enye me life
asɛm yi aka ho ebi ama Adom Kasee ebopni ofori kromensini krache ɔde tudwa ɛsɛ
na public transport traffic light aye kwanko sa traffic light yi eba ye metu ho na mo ene e ban race for Kasee ene highways for Kasee je du ama minister kwa be mo nso frɛ ekwakra tina amuso ma pokyo bibia a contractor na also prefinance tika prefinance a na nko no wa hye man na di na se but yeti yesi contractors wo niska and I know the contractor niska obi go buze na ono kwa ne contractor so yeah for you for this year yeah including in our budget say be say G2 ayo na yeah ni K University for ekasa
adwempa hene Kofi Mensa amanebo ofori krum
nipa mienu nso eja hye won dwabie amane wato no no mo nsiedo eye nkwanhia bi esi ye Ofinso Old Town e wa Santemantem mo bi mienu nso aka Awurade nti ya omoji ayarehwe e wa yaresabia
Yenemu Kasee Rosem esi ewo Ofinso Old Town nyina ene se nkwanhye bi esi ama Yenemu Kasee de enipa mienu na wonomo ahye etinananom ensiedo sanso na enipa mienu de eni bibia wonomo da emu ayedempa wonomo epre ede ache wonomo enkwa nkwanhye ka wasemi esi ene anapa wo ahyen mensa bi ntema eno ene salunka trailer ena femini tracker na ono de adansi ho nema nana esono we na omanfo bi odo eni hu nsemi bi echese omanfo wonomo no ensiedu no wono ma wopira no de na wode wonani efiri Kumasi a wokyiri mu ewo Ofinso wono ma wofiri mu no baako ene wo ba wono de adansi ho dwuma ena wodi sanso ena driver ni a na wono na wotwi sa mini truck no sanso no manfa wono mu epira no ene trailer driver yi ne ne mate a wono mu mprimprim de wono mu wo ayarese bebi wo mpotem ho a wono mu eje ayarehwe we ena mpanyimfo de atodwa se mprimprim de hwehwemo hodo ekoso ede afane namso ma nkwanhia no ekoba ye poten
Yentwa Kasee no eso na ene Bank of Ghana kwa kopiemu wo Public Account Committee on yin sama hodo no ne titiro efa poalugo $12 million sika woso ntua no mu ede ye adwuma se be yampo bagredam ye bia eno ebetimi akra no ne ade no wakọ akoyia no
borders on issues about value for money. That doesn't sit with us. As I explained, we go by the documentation. We are a banker, for government. If this was a loan from Bank of Ghana, certainly we will take over that oversight role. This was a Government of Ghana project. We cannot speak on that. There were quite too many issues under the Goal for Oil that we needed to unearth. And therefore, the board authorized an external audit. We got PPA approval for the audit just about 2 months ago. The external auditors have already been authorized, as I mentioned, by the Bank of Ghana board. The Goal for Oil is being audited. The Goal for Reserves will also be audited. When that exercise is over, we are happy to sit with you to look at where there were infractions or not and what to do with it.
Mensi krache ya wono wo bekwa mensi mu ye Salifu Isaka Salia Salisu ene ya meka se ya kwan bia ede ekọ nkrofo efuo mu wakọ akosiesi sebe ya no ba ye na won madua na aso no betumi ede aba
Abana musini ya obekwai Salifu Isaka Salia Salisu ena odi atudwa se ukopiem obekwai ne mpatamu a omo kan wonu mu a omo maduane ebu ewo mamu pa yesekua adwuma de won fani agro nenso abrahosam ne se wonu kwan nyina sei kuafo edua wono ba ye wi a kwan kro befa so a odi beba kurum na wonu matomo manfo enye bia die no aya na aya asem o kire se wei ama akuafo no ba ya dodo a wo maduane nyina akawuram ya wonu mtumi mfa mafie krampo na abeton enye sika
akuafo dodo no a ha wonu se omumfudie ye den no mu de abadwa so na yesi aye aban na musini wa haidie na esefata se ye nhihye ye mu no ye hwe adjourned Dramani Mahama amamwo mu no kuyayo ya de esi na koma so yi ene ntime ba na mehwe kokko e wa ha mehwe mfudie a ye di free ha badwa so da bia na me ne akuafo no di nkitaho a na ade ba ko a eyi o mani so adi hu no ehyi wo nkuran wo mu dwumadie mu ne se omu eno baye no betimi de akọ edwaso se betimi akọ dwaso bra no de a na wo se ekwan a ye fa so de no ma no kọ dwaso no ya ma mu da ho na sa dwumadie no edi mo yie eni nti na eto makoma so se wo hwe mfudie wo hwe kokko a na akuafo no de bo oman no akọhoma na se assembly no ye fa kwan wodo so aboa omoma ekwan no adamu momu de omu no makodwa so a na se fata eno nti na ya mpupu yeti a na hema agira menchen omubo ye chidom wo kwan sonko so a yetimi twa kwan yi so anne akoni abadie aye krabehwe e wo kwan yi so
de adu so no ye Adom trotro prince osu asiedu akopie mu wo police depot tesano screening no ekoso e wo wona epese wo do hu dom posi adwuma no prince yentew
BPMO our police training school Tesano. And a day a year Ghana Fanenina aposifo de nhihye gu akwan mu kama sene emebuno emayua ene ememua a womo pese womo kodi posi no womo efa eye body selection mu ene de ye BPMO ewa ha ne hu se memua ene emai ana womo etitiwe ana womo nam body selection process a ekoso yi womo nina ehye eye atade fita ene asie tuntum anase blue black na nhihye ya empenifo ede amom se wo eni so no ana wo di su fefefe ye bepie mo ewa ha no ahase eye Pentagon Center na Pentagon Center no aposifo ehwe enim se emebuno emayoa ene ememua a womo eba anope ama fa body selection process no womo hwe 500 na 500 no yebedu an mpenifo ama yaso atise womo etimi ayemu half 250 na chese womo abon no modern pa menu kase ye ba ye hu se aposifo adwuma womo de egu akwam na womanfo womo hwe womo kratem eni bibia no eyade a edane kwan so eyade a bibia ekoye pa ye wa ye hu se emebunu bi womo afa process nim ewie ama womo epie akọ abra ye bedu ho anope ye hu se ahokeka no eye sronko pa ebi mu efri enkran ebi mu nso efri chire bebi ana womo aba abefa eye body selection nim entini ene ebi mu ebedi nkomo na yahwe sene process no ekoye ye ni nkomo kakra mohu process na esen process ni net sen
pacho na ye pa
cheche mu mai obedu ata me ofi hine ne ba
bukwasi na eba ye me ba ha no pa no pa base 6 to 7 ni mo no ana bedu ase tina afans na me wi amesume
bukwasi na ofi abe the omodo ufemu no na uti say ya frɛ na buy no say na ho ye wa ho keka net say
me ni age pa because enye obi an to me buy ntino omo frɛ me say na me ni age
all right mabunu baako ana o kyerɛ say ni age pa say wo mo efrɛ no me ni abayo nso eni nkomo abayo eni nkomo kakra Jumedie ne koso kama pa ye bedru ana branti baako wa oh tough guy eni nkomo kakra process no how was the selection process?
Oh, it was quite smooth. Yeah. Everything is going on smoothly. Yeah.
Can you describe it to us? What did you go through?
Oh, we went through starting from the height. After the height, then we went through the process of the documentation. That's our Ghana card, birth set, our certificates of proficiency, and other sets. Yeah. After that, then we submitted our document. Then that's all.
All right, bro. For onemi ajine ne salad bi amenye di anyansem ketwa wocha wo mu bedu ha no ye de omo efan hihye mu ema ye hwe wo mu tintin se wo ye tintin ana wo ye titi ye height no wo mu ewie na wo mu hwe wo mu nkratasem na bibia akokama e de amom nti ono ewie a wo koi ye ne ebi mu su ni nkomo me ne abawe ni nkomo wo hwe process no na etisen.
Bibia was so yeah, everything was organized and then well processed. With me and Bibia, Bibia is smooth.
All right, who feel in buy?
We feel a shy man.
A shaman. All right, into Bedu Atambe.
6:30 no more. Na Asha said that.
Okay, into Bedi live.
Pachai.
Into Abra ye bold, you know, send out who you.
Oh, she and me because many of them I do my paint. Me will experience kakranti. I'm bombing home here.
All right, na say ono so afa nhihye nim ewia wo che se neni ajipa men eye ememua ene emayoa ana samre mu ho ma wo mo efa eye body selection process mu e wo tesano police training school eye aposifo nhihye a wo mo de egu akwam e de hwe se wo manfo a wo mo ebeba posi adwumanim no wo mo ebefa sa niema mu ansana wo womo ajiutum no womo timi afrew sebra na be ye adwuma ni ti wo hwa ememu ane ema womo mo posi mu mpenifo na womo tete eye computer ye chi hwehwe womo eniemam ebi nso na womo ti ha enkrata sem gugu womo nima womo ebo adwuma kama pa etene adom trotro ane ye de be pie mu ewo eye police training school wo tesano me na me di mate ewo trotro mu se trotro ne ye ma mate ne egisu se awe
Prince Uso Siedu ne yetere nkano yenye nkratso yimra na yeba ebetwaso Yabo kwa beda se Sogu Social Adom TV Premtobre Kasee no media fia amankwa tamaklu na Chief of Staff Julius Debra na ediatu jasenche aban no National Apprenticeship Program no ya eba bebo mebunu anya adwuma aye na afo nyansa no adwuma na nnwuma ho aye din beba fom no enche ye adwuma akwa pemedu krom eduram dwumadi ekoso apoyamantemu eno de sansemi etuja
Chief of Staff Julius Debra ene ede atudwa ehye ahodo aban di egu akwamu ede ama National Apprenticeship Program we wonbuta nyina ne se ene emebunu yede be hye wonmo ede na atumi abɔ won so enya ensano dwuma bi a eno so bɛbɔ ama ene enyuma nsɛm ani ɔman mu no ano abrase
baby ya na ye mayani ko ye nuanom a ebesu adwuma bi te se plumbing carpentry mechanic ene niema horo no enti ministry di dwumadi bakonso a oye ne se the National Apprenticeship Program and the omu ne se Pablo ne pedifo no ehwe se ye mranti asebi utidi bua na so ekoba se sika di fieti unyo bi fa onkosu adwuma uchi be omo a ombe ye hihye ama ya be obi obakire wadwuma na aban na fa honka amadachi di onpon hono na wonso ukura osanu adwuma etosu bi so ya ya hihye a sebio we ya brantie na ofese dachi unyi na we ti say chairman na so omi de me pese me ya ban adwuma me pese me ya ankra kwa adwuma eno so uchi be omo a ewo mwa omo de beboa amatachire a esa wo de hye wo adwuma se no enso nsaka
ewo no hene wo edukrum osuodumja otutu kono otoso miensa enso fa sa akonya no so edito kebiomfo nyina enim se
countries
campaign has stood strong because each generation rose to the call of service, sacrifice, and purpose. Today, that call is sounding louder than ever, and generation rose to the call of service, sacrifice, and purpose. Our youth remain in the most vibrant, dynamic, and promising segment of society. They carry within them the dreams we once dared to dream, the energy we once possessed, and the hope we must never allow to fade. They are the custodians of the future we pray for, the future we labor for, and the future we owe to the generations yet unborn. And yet, as custodians, we need guidance, opportunity, and direction. We live in an age where the world is changing at an extraordinary pace. Technology, culture, economics, governance, and global communication are shifting faster than we have ever experienced.
The Adom Premtobre Kasee, Eric Sidubadi, Ewaha, Memokwaba. Ibiaboko.
Adom be fine. Sanya wa ha menim say diamond your red o me o blue and your a plain room.
Diamond.
Yeah, the diamond bo.
Yeah, diamond bomb ko. Meaning ukro diamond say that.
Femum. Eh, light the toss but not too many. Nice diamond pa. Nice diamond. But
Tinyame Adom memendasa.
Now, Oshaya, Shannon so. I say free or Bukum boxing arena. Bukum boxing arena. Don't leave yourself. My share. If you I'm for say but this free. Free bonto.
Into groups in the mumra in groups.
Abba.
Na done all night in here because my culture was a pub for.
Abba.
And almost shiado. And well so be a ben or musia de besi.
A cup of coach na crazy Saturday. No bed, Papa.
Yaminti ebe banso.
Wow.
Oh,
that's it. Mamma twas so.
I can see everybody it was.
Right. Fantastic afternoon. I go to some day, bro. Say, Premtobre Kasee. Now, you're saying you're free be hangover. Now, hangover, me na me interested. Me say me be hangover no. And I me bisa me cameraman your friend Thomas. On the hangover or hangover sepa and watch them as here. Sounds like bisa me director. Priscilla say, Priscilla, near your friend hangover and watch it shame mu. I said, you know, or no, when you send hangover city, or from anti watch it. It was a minute, I mean, hangover some. And I feel a major idea, met hangover. Yeah, Matthias, and I know how life was that the chin when you hangover. Serious. Huh. And after we man be Priscilla be who be your sober. Hey, I not you be who ye. It's your friend hangover. You now, Real Madrid at just and home. And I know. Bye. Basa for Chiano you. I'm a boy 3. I'm a boy 3. I'm a coach to cross one shenia. But after the game, it be more still a bit more. One more. I just see a point. Get be just yano not be binyano. Oba o suma ma yes and get one. Hey, I keke classical kakray boy again. So a trouble too. Say dang. And I owe you once. Obi girlfriend. Why should swama when you na ready a bet? Mama san mama ntiade.
The who will buy you here ready?
Yeah, me and him both almost I my face every month I black. I'm on you, and then I make me a McDonald's next year, my show. Sanya Baba, I Sanya Baba, why? Sanya Baba. I'm on him, Bonnie, we are no mama.
I'm Near Ramadu di Queen saying in the same besu. Debbie, gay, moon can be mentioned. I borrow there. Or come I bet you. When you any catch up bet TBD way, Sayake, bet in new Pony. Hey, and I got it tomorrow as soon as I do bet the younger Bibbell. Yeah, but I didn't pay Chrome as Sibini. And not pay Penny Bear. Paris Saint Germain book at elbow. Cap match both feet to me a Beshana one. Something good do you. Huh? You bet no topic before, huh? What do you own him, dear corner, eh? Yapam Real Madrid coach. Now, after the game, you heard an Anchiane Coswa because I sunlight. Na Chabi Alonso Waka. When you want to cry, or call, ye, Nipa Bedemia, or on Liverpool in Camo, Yes, Bessimia Kuyajma, or by a Yapamano, na Yapamano no. Na man for reading meaning says below an abba, Vero below, Arona, Rema the coach in the yes, the new coach in. Nay, see who's not Frentino Perez, Chia Alonso. You will say, oh, Chiano. Manchiana or Alonso near Shapa Nimua, my Frentino Perez. Ocean and Nimua de Chiapapaya. It is not in this, it's not in the president, it's not in the president's stomach. It is not in the president's stomach now, or the Chiano. Etinye wanwa. Esi ewie ya pom like ya pom chairman. Seriously. Na ye wie ya so wa mo kwa ya medal table no medal guard of honor, ye kwa guard of honor. Ana Chabi Alonso. Extra boy is the moment I mesan line na basa. MFM no mo go waje trophy no. Ana Mbappe mo ka say boy say hey. Ye never guard of honor. Masa mo mesim ye nko. Ana coach, hey, who coach me? Mama said, "Dear coach, what's the coach is you, man? Coach Papa, man. Hey, Coach Papa, man. No, I haven't channel quite upon any moon and your friend, coach, what you fear, you come to that. Cogad of Anna, mammy. Nothing or Rodrigo, so you see, the auto bono. The auto bono, when you see, said, oh, Jinan chain, I guess one engine. No, and the map is a blast more beer and corner. Wait, Rodrigo Jinan chain to Jim. As I messy yanko. Boys, they did not come on Kujina or ya God of Anna. Dada. Oh no, Mbappe no. Lydia Luta. Esa yanko. Seriously. Timami video back when I was showing answer Rebano. I said, messy yanko. Which I said, Master, come on. Hey, I call I about Remadun and San, oh, yeah, come on. Kylian Mbappe. Well, we move. Eti Real Madrid dia na ye no Alonso kwa below by resa below bit baba sanema or Real Madrid akache na niema timi akoya. Yes, James Siama Pablo Waima a producer me de obesi na kwambia so akoya nim me se fiama kwata maklo beto aso
ya to Premtobre Kasee no eso mensin krache was Tifi South ye half montemu Benjamin Nasabil Donko sa ban no ne wo kan ye bia no obedi sa aboshe no eso ewo mensin
Ana musini ya owo Tifi South Benjamin Asabel Donko ene dia tudwa se bosha aban ehye omanfo owo avumantem no obidi ni nyina so se ne be ya omanfo nso eni beje pa odin sami tudwa ewo hwidiem wa bra tepa go so kwantempon a wonum eye no kokohwe se de kwan no wonum aya kwakoduru na okira
ye she hwidiem ni Tifi South se do mampanya ka bia no ebebem obey ni nyina kama ama ya fa ntoma pa efra o mampan John Dramani mama bra e bontoa na dawloma se o pese to abama no ne kasa mu roka se ye to abama no a ekrobia ye de ensa kan kwa se ye ya ye ntima anwie no a MPP fo ba o man ntima anye no o ba beto aso ebi ne ehuni nei o su Titepa road ye ja to ho ye de ensa kan ye ja to na MPP fo be se no kra ene ena yeguso o start free ko control so ba ma bye ba ya ni kama asphalt ene o madu hidiem aye this capital o mo ya adwuma mo ya ni se e form na emre ntom tutu amra no mo de abo agum no mo afre no ya kama
Osan edit tudwa se mrahye bedwani owo ho Alhaji Collins Dauda enne mantam so afọ charity gardener ene onu ankasa wonum dia no baba ye pa se onum ne nipa wode contract ama no ho no me Kofi Job no behwe se wo be ye kwan ni nyina na waye ni yie se ne be ya ebeboa omanfo
odu hidiem so hidiem kro no e o ba bia e ho ye ntima anya kwa dada ho ye be ma Kofi Job ahwe so ba ye ba bia hidiem kro ba bia kwa dada bia no ye be sere na mra ya ma hidiem kro no afar ntoma pa efra esan se o mampan se this capital bi obeduru obia no o se obesiesie kro no eti ye behwe se Kofi Job obedu hidiem yi mantem bia kwa dada bia no ye behwe amra ye ho amna ho ye kama
to aso de mekunafo ye wo no yem wo Brim North Mansimo ye apoye mantemo de adesrepa na to bibie de maban ne wona ni makwenhya aban ase se bomabua wo musika kakra no nso ntime emfa hye enuma ase
Emekrafo wono wo no yema no wo Brim North mensinu mu wo poemantem no mu enei ade adesre eto omanfa wono musem ewo bi enim se adaro ma womra wono mu ensabe mu na sikasem womra ememebo wono mu ewo mu se ne be wonso bodwobodwe bi obetumi ede ahyase na boa ewo setena mu ensem sa adesre we si wono mu ede to mpanyufo enim abra na na yim nketia otosumi no no ye ohene wo achim no yem enyame so ade a eni wo kyerɛ do ede ama ne manfonti wakeka ne nsasere bi kakra ekokoma wono mu ebi wo ha na kuranfo yi na ye ni bi ye obi kura ye ni bi na me na hwe so ebi ane ye nananom na si epeja won no nso be ye kra be hwe ne ye ni hwa onso hwe kire ama yi ato ye nti se wodwen sa adwempa ne se obeboa ye no be ma ye bi dotie bi ekita ne nso ye de hwe kire kafo a enka se dan so ye urade dia oyi ma nana dia sema be kan ne se nyame o nhira won nana ye nim se sa die ni kra ena de kire yakọ ebe hia bi eti ede wa ye ne de eboro ya dwe ni enti ase so wa ya ade dodo nyame be hira wo nyame be to wo mo kwanem ewo na wo hene ya wo no yem nana eyim nkete toso mienu ena fe ne ba hema nana akwase ye boa sapon otoso miensa enso eni ekire botayi si oni so ntia wo no mo de dwumedi we si ehyehyɛ so
na fo ye omu a nipa bi a me make sure say mesumeye mafom de bia di omagina yie na atimi abo mo so timi ye yi ti na hu behia se afi bia no me dey me ye bibi kakra no mo atu nse didi na se bi o mo so hu se bi o mo kuru mo wukura na se bi yi nyame a okuru bi so ho a ye me a metimi di aboa mani so ade hu no enye no yempa me bompa ya sere na nanom asere nyame se onnom me na onnom ye kakra na ye sie atiefo mu tie ye so se obi a wo mo bi amabuwa bi na sebe enye mpotam wa nyina Brim North wo nhihye ne se nka fie besi mu no omu nyina na enyu omusa beto nsadidi ne yetimi aboa ma sebe akunafo a omu kunu wu omu ye mmobo no yesu e de adwe bi ba ye hihye bi e beboa ma omu soso ebetinye yi omu fisi ade ni mu enye didi epo na si ye hihye ya aboa se nyame beboa ye na sebe ojetire kura na ebetimi di aboa ebetimi di enye sebe amadidie ni ye che omade na emo betimi amom jetire kura betimi to di aboa hwe obo ho afini nyina mu
se eya na ekunafo no aye manko a ba se obehwe nkwala ene ma nkwala sei aba no because oba bi wo ho a ontimi ntiti akwala ne ye enti se mema ne bu jom sa eya na ye mobo
adehye ye wo medie wo mo afiase efiri hodomo fi se nsuyiri ababeto wo mo wono mo ensuo no adan yesisi wo nsuo bia nti nsuo nya ba bi mfa na atwiafa wono mo so won gata no so emu asi nti nsuo nya ba bi mfa na atwiafa won so waka mpanifo meboa won ti dia ye ne de this one to efiri ho
Normally drops at the lowland because of we don't have proper drainage system. The water doesn't do what flow, and when it happen like that, it gets many people houses flooded. As you earlier said, most of the people have evacuated their premises because of this flooding issue. So we wouldn't like to talk too much, but rather we are appealing to government, the municipal chief executive, member of parliament, Honorable Sedem Afenyo, and the Roads and Highways Minister, Honorable Lavins, Governor Agboja, to come to our aid with a proper drainage system. Me being an assembly member, I have written to feeder roads and urban roads for them to come to our aid with this drainage system because media is a community that is facing serious flooding issue. So we are appealing with them to come to our aid.
Nothing like this before. Since it started raining and since the construction of the road, we have had so many problems over this place, and we have made our best to get those things out. But we've seen the assemblyman go on with to see the MC and the engineers for them to come to our aid, but nothing has been done to it. Last we met with the MP and the MC, and they promised us, and up to now, because every time people will be calling you, Mr. Joe, come, and this is the problem, come and see.
Yenye so na Adom TV Premtobre Kasee no ha na brema kwan na wie ye de si eda sembre ne adaje a wo de ma yenti obradwumede no to so afri Insura FM Kumase.